here we are in Epping Forest with the wonderful Miss Wanda. Yeah, I just came out here for a photo shoot today. Want to see what we can do in the forest. Hoping to shoot a darker scene during sunset. Make it look like nighttime with flash. Got a lot of gear with me today. Kind of heavy to carry and stuff, but hey, look at this. Really cool. See what kind of scenes we can get. Oh, that's a cool place. We'll try some shots here.
That looks like a huge asshole though, on the photo, right?
This?
Yeah.
Like a really bad prolapsed one.
Really.
So Wanda, do you have any modeling or photography tips for our viewers at home?
I have only one. Stay hydrated. Because...
Yeah, I mean, if you're not hydrated, you can't photograph or model.
yeah, you can't do anything really.
Oh shit, check that out. That looks freaking cool.
Oh, that's good. Maybe this part there as well.
Yeah, I think it does. So we're here, I want to capture as much of these leaves. I want to compress them into the scene. So I'm going to use an 85mm instead of this 55mm. So here I'm having trouble finding the composition that I had in mind. Let's try a different angle. A variety of different angles are possible here, so I'm just trying to find the one that will suit the feel that I want to go for. Here are some of the options. I think that last one works pretty well, more or less, so it's time to go for the final shot. The idea for this shot is basically showing a fair amount of skin in a dark, creepy forest. The tree's going to be super uncomfortable, so good thing I brought a towel. So here's the final image. I'm pretty happy with it. It was not a simple scene to work with. The posing is fantastic, the texture of the tree is amazing, hair, skin, and makeup of the model are gorgeous. And then the background and foreground are not incredibly strong, but not too bad. Here is the edited image. And by the way, this was my first time using Affinity on the iPad Pro to edit, so it took way longer and probably isn't quite as refined as it would normally be if I were using my usual Lightroom plus Photoshop combo. So that was a fun little scene, obviously very uncomfortable for the model. We managed to get a couple of cool shots, I think. And because her skin is so white, I can already just reduce the exposure compensation and drop the ambient light down, so it already looks quite dark and moody. So that's cool, but we're gonna look for some place which is actually dark and maybe like a path for her to walk on or something. And then I can use flash to light her and make it look like it is really night. Go on. So we're basically looking for some darker areas now to do the other shot. There's plenty of dark areas around this forest, but there's always some light accompanying them, and we also want some kind of interesting, creepy, interesting tree, or a couple of trees, you know? So it's not easy, and we have like half an hour left until sundown, so, and we don't want to be left in the dark in the forest. That's no joke. So there's a really cool area over there where those two people are walking. It's kind of beautifully lit, and if I take this photo with a long lens, it might look pretty cool. Again, go again. Cool. So I think this shot works better as a landscape image, almost like some fairy tale painting. And it may as well be a painting because I shot at 10,000 ISO to freeze the action. The resulting image isn't going to win any sharpness awards, but I find it magical. So that was a cool scene. Of course, compromising our chances of getting that magical night-looking thing with flash. But we're gonna keep trying, I guess. We found this cool little scene here, and it's probably like 10 minutes until it's totally dark. And it probably will take like 10 minutes to set up my lights, so let's go.
You can tell us what you're doing.
Please. I'm setting up the lights, and it's insane because we have just about enough amount of light time to set these lights up and nothing else, I think. So this might already be a lost cause because there's simply not enough ambient light right now, and I probably have to boost the ISO quite high to be able to get some ambient light. The thing that will take time is getting the direction of the light to work the way that I want, the power of the light, and of course also the posing. So this is tough, ladies and gentlemen, but let's freaking try this. Okay, let's go. So what I'm doing right now is just I turned off the flash and I'm setting the ISO level to the level that I want, to how I want the forest to look, which is around 2000 ISO, unfortunately, right now. So now that I've dialed that ISO, everything is else on manual. I'm going to turn on the flash, and I don't use TTL, so I'm just going to fire the flash at 1/32 power, see how it looks. So the flash is hitting the trees and the ground under Wanda a bit too hard, so what I can do is obviously increase my aperture, but I don't want the trees in the background to be in focus, so I'm going to have to reduce my ISO. I'm going to reduce it to 1000, everything else is going to get even darker, but hopefully we get a bit less exposure in Wanda. Yeah, so this is more like something I'm looking for. I cannot explain to you guys how dark it's getting, it's crazy. So we got to do this really fast. I mean, there's barely any light in the lit up areas. Over here it's really dark. I don't know how that little camera is handling it, but yeah, let's get this done, come on. So I want you to walk like in a little zigzag, very, very minor zigzag from the back tree to the front tree. And again, do the tiptoeing thing and with the arms, like just like you did back there. It was really good, okay? And try to look like mysteriously magical face, like you're looking around and like this is your kingdom, okay? So that last photo is the one I decided to edit from this scene. I would have liked more ambient light to work with, and I should have definitely used the flash behind and to the right of the model as a separation light, but ended up not setting one up under the time constraints. Wanda did a wonderful job. See what I did there? It's really not easy to walk on an uneven forest floor barefoot on your tiptoes while still keeping the shape throughout the body and even giving an interesting expression. Big kudos.
So it's actually too dark for my camera to focus now here, and obviously on my display it looks quite bright, but it's really dark here, and because you're in the distance it just can't focus anymore. So, you know, I've taken a bunch of shots. Hopefully some of them are good. I think some of them were good. Obviously it's like an extremely dynamic scene here where you're walking and you're looking in different directions. So yeah, not the easiest thing at all. It's crazy, but this is the kind of thing I love, you know, getting back home and then seeing like a great photo out of those, for example. That would be so fantastic. So still a beautiful scene out here, probably pretty noisy, because even here in the field it's quite dark, and we came from over there. It was insanely dark. I mean, you saw yourself. I don't know how far in terms of ISO this camera can go, but I'm pretty sure it was as high as it could go. So that was cool. Hopefully one of those shots turned out, and yeah, that was a really cool little
challenge.
Yeah, challenge.
It was fun.
Challenge is the right word. I mean, obviously it was a lot more challenging for this young beautiful lady, but I was also quite challenged, I must admit. And I really hope we're walking the right way right now, because I think in about 5 minutes we will no longer be able to see very far. So if this video is seen by anybody, you know we made it out.